everybody and welcome to another video. We start this one off with Impatience. As you can see, I'm turning right here and I'm in the right turn only lane. There's a lane next to me on my left which is a straight on. Not a problem, not an issue. Person next to me is going straight on, so they come up the inside. Easy in it. We come to the back and it's not about lanes, this is just about impatience. Yes, it has to be the guy on the right hand side, a Burke in a Merc in a flash car. That's Mr. Perfect. We go to the front here and the car on the left hand side stalls. When he gets a green light it actually stalls and the car behind uses the horn on him.
Question, this is fucking stalled, you idiot, and you're bibbing him.
Talk about impatience or what? The guy don't mean to stall. You very rarely see it nowadays. But here he is, Mr. Perfect here. Yeah, how impatient have you got to be? How perfect, how Mr. Perfect have you got to be to use your horn in that sort of situation? Oh, and it is misuse of the horn there as well. Anyway, next clip, we're coming up to this road here, and as you can see, two lanes go straight on. Unfortunately, across the lights, there is only one lane, so it is a merging turn. So as the car in front of me is turning left, as long as it don't dawdle round the corner, I should be second. The car to my right hand side that you can see there will be first and I will be second, and the car to the right hand side of me, behind me or next to me, isn't even there yet, should be coming in third behind me when we merge in turn across the road here. But it never actually quite works out that way, not for me anyway. We're going to go to the rear camera now and we've gone back just a touch, but the first thing I want to say is how come that car there cannot see that car there? It pulls straight out on it. And I think that that has an effect on this guy when it gets to the lights with me. It seems to be still got the ump of this car pulling out on it. How can that car not see it? I don't know if you could hear the horn there. It wasn't very happy in the end. He probably didn't even get a thank you after it being pulled, after being pulled out on. So it goes to the outside lane here now. Now, this isn't aggressive driving as such, but it's not good driving because it's quite clear that I should be in there second. You know, it's leaving me no space. Look, there's no staggered formation here. It's just that's my spot. That's my spot here behind this car, and you'll have to back off. That's not how merge and turn works. And now a lot of people say to me, what are the worst cars out on the road? Well, right up there is people like this that have baby on board stickers on. Baby on board, no matter what vehicle they're on, they are right up there with the worst drivers out there. So a little bit further down the road, we're coming into Sutton and we're looking over to the right hand side, and I was actually quite amazed that this bike actually waited there. The pedestrian though doesn't, just walks, just carries on walking. Look at that. I'm not even sure she even bothered to look at the road. Head down there. Now we're coming up here and you can see here that there's one lane that goes straight on and two that turn right. It's quite simple, isn't it? It's there. It's written there in black and white on the ground. It's simple for some people anyway. So you know what's going to happen, don't you? It happens to me nearly every time I'm here. But first of all, we're going to go back to the rear camera and we're going to look at that pedestrian. She had no hesitation in crossing the road there, keeping the Audi waiting there. The Audi had to slow down for her. What a horrible person that is to do something like that. Anyhow, you can see behind me here, two Audis behind me. They both get in the correct lane. Look at that. Both of them behind me because they're going straight on. But obviously there is going to be one. There is always one, isn't there? And it's always in a Pratmobile, isn't it? Always. Here it comes down the outside. Yeah, a zooped up car with a loud exhaust. I mean, how old are you? Fucking 12.
I wonder where you're going, mate. I bet you're not turning right. Yeah.
Obviously, I knew it was going to happen, but what's the point in racing him off? It's a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. There's a great big bus in front of you. There was a police station right next to us there on the right-hand side, and you've got a big, loud exhaust being purposely in the wrong lane. It's like a, look at me, I'm a prat. But was he the only prat? Let's have a look. There is one more that does it, but this one does it accidentally. I'm sure this one gets in the wrong lane accidentally. The car behind the van doesn't push it to get into the correct lane though. You just got to read the road a bit more. Read the room. You see a great big line of traffic and you want to go straight on. Read the room. A little bit further down the road, we're looking at the car in front of us and the traffic lights, or more importantly, the colour of the traffic lights. He actually hits the brakes at amber, but then carries on going. Weird. It's never good going for a red light at any time, but when there's people there waiting, especially with kids, that makes it even worse in my book. Now, in the highway code, it is recommended that you do not try and do a 180 at a mini roundabout. And this is probably why, if you look where the bus is, there's a van trying to do a 180 there and can't make it. So now it's got to reverse. It's got to do the reverse of shame. I don't know what it says about doing a reverse on a roundabout, to be honest, but it's not very good driving, is it? Anyway, I will wait here for these pedestrians to cross the road, like what you're supposed to do. But behind me, I've got Stevie Wonder, who came very close to actually hitting me because he didn't see that I had traffic coming from my right-hand side. And it is priority to traffic approaching from the right. So I obviously stop and he almost hits me. Yeah. But it's not just that though. When we do actually go round the roundabout, it gets too close. There's no point in getting this close. It's a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. It does go into 30 and then back into 20. But there's people turning right here, which is why I can't go. But there's no reason to be this close. There's bumps in the road as well, speed bumps here. So I'm going to go slow over them. But why are you driving that close to me? I don't get it. I never ever get that. And look how close he is to the cars to the left-hand side there. I mean, if there was someone in there opening their door, that's it. Good night, especially with your bloody eyesight, mate. Now, whenever someone does this to me, it never affects my driving. I just drive the way I always do. But I've got to be honest, it does annoy me that these people get this close to you. I mean, there's no point in it because I'm waiting at a junction here now, waiting for the coast to clear so I can pull out. You'll see him in a second. He does take his glasses off. Maybe he's put his sunglasses on instead of his fucking driving glasses. No, but he puts them back on. They are the Ray-Ban Stevie Wonder edition. These sunglasses are very popular around my way. We are turning right here, and as you can see, there is only room for one vehicle down this road. So what do when you got someone coming towards you? Yeah, you pull out, don't you? They've obviously got the same sunglasses, or is it just a Burke in a Merc typical driving? So a little bit further down the road, we're coming to this junction up here, and people are turning right in front of me. You tell me, should the last one have gone? Not a problem with that one. Not a problem with this one. The Range Rover, yes, he's got the Stevie Wonder edition sunglasses on again. No way should he have gone there, but they do have separate rules, don't they, these Range Rover drivers? And again, look how close he is to the car in front. No point. There is absolutely no point in driving like that. Anyway, we're looking over there to the pedestrians. They got priority, but it doesn't hurt to look. I will never understand that. As long as I've got a hole in my arse, I will never understand how you can walk out into a road without looking. It don't compute with me. Now in this clip, this young girl has got glasses on. They're not sunglasses, they're glasses, proper glasses. They don't fucking work though. And you know when they don't look at you, they don't react to you using the horn, that they know that they got it wrong. So a little bit further down the road, we're looking in the distance, and I will pause it to show you what we're looking at here. We're looking at a scooter just there. It's a bit blurry because I've zoomed it in, but you see that car to the right hand side as we're looking at it? Should that car pull out? It either didn't see it or didn't care, one or the other. No way should it have pulled out then. For me, the speed it did it, it saw it, it just didn't care. Now while we're on this road, and I do have quite a few driving instructors, and I've even got an examiner that actually follow this channel, I want to know their opinion on speed bumps. The speed bumps that are right directly in the middle of the lane, and then it's right directly in the other lane, so you try to avoid them. I've shown you this before on this road, like this here. Now I've had to slow down so that van can go in the middle of the speed bumps because there's a parked car to the right hand side left for him. Now I shouldn't have to slow down for that. I shouldn't have to take the hit on the bump itself neither, because you know, I could go over the top of the bump without any problem, but he had the problem. So he needs to really slow down and take the bump, or wait for me to go over the bump. The same applies here. Not with the first car, this second one. Got no intention of slowing down whatsoever. You can see the car parked right over the top of the bloody bump as well. Should never be able to do that. So my question is to the powers that be, what are you supposed to do in this situation? The examiner, what would you be looking for here? The driving instructor, what will you be teaching here? For slowing down for someone that's driving on the wrong side of the road when they don't have to, they can just take the bump slowly, which I think that they should be. Like here again, he's got no intentions of slowing down. He's got no intentions of looking at the road neither. Look where his head is. What's on his lap? Yeah, have a little guess what you think is on his lap. Yeah, so if the powers that be that are watching this, what would you be looking for as an examiner in this situation? For me to slow down even though that I've got priority? It's not an obstacle as such in their way like a parked car. It's a bump. And because there's a parked car on the bump, they're moving over into my side of the road. So yeah, I'll be quite interested to hear that, or if anyone else wants to chip in and let me know what they think about the whole thing. We should be able to go over it like this car is behind me. That's the way I would always go over a bump. But if someone's on your side of the road stopping you do that, why should you take the hit? You know, this is how it should be done. See, he's going over the guy behind me is going over it the correct way. The other guy is hitting the bump far too fast, mind you, but he's prepared to hit the bump. That is how it should be done for me. But the others before that did not do it that way. They just bullied their way through, I guess. But the parked cars need to be gone. Now in this clip you can see the colour of the lights. You can see that there's a cyclist there. That is still a cyclist. Technically he's gone through a red light here, but the guy crossing the road with his pram here, with a child in that pram, it really annoys me. Look, he hasn't even crossed the road. He's walking in the middle of the road, yeah, to get over there. His observation, look, he hasn't looked in the road once. He's got his kid there. He's slowing down crossing the road because he's more interested in his phone.
Good observation, mate. Good observation.
Now I've got my window open and I said it loud enough for him to hear. But unfortunately he couldn't hear me because he's got earpods in. So he's not looking where he's going. He's got his kid with him in the pram that he's walking across the road. But the phone is more important than himself and his kid's safety. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. I do wonder if these people actually drive and what their driving is actually like. Now this does seem to be a bit of an episode of bad eyesight and poor observation. Now, this is no exception. We're looking at this car in front of us, this white car. Now, we're both turning right up here. There is a lane just for turning right up here. He struggles to see it. You want to turn right. Get into this right-hand lane. It's almost on the bend before it actually sees that, oh, that's my lane. Now, watch how he takes this turning. Obviously, you've got give way lines there in front of us, so you've got no priority.
Bloody hell. That's a really good driver, that one.
Yeah, pretty much made that driver do an emergency stop. So a little bit further down the road, we're stuck in quite heavy traffic here. Not a lot you can do really other than sit and just go with the flow. But in front of us, look, we've got another one of them cars with one of them stickers in the window. Yeah, children on board, this one is. It doesn't want to wait in the traffic. I told you about them stickers. They are one of the worst drivers out there. Forget the make and model and all that. If you've got one of them stickers in your car, you're a plum. You generally are a plum anyway. So it wants to turn right, but it's not prepared to wait. Oh no, it's going to just drive on the wrong side of the road. But doing it, it doesn't actually see this car here coming towards it. So the car has to swerve around it. Yeah. And then it cuts the corner. Really lazy driving. Was it the children driving the car or a responsible adult? So this clip is all about inconsideration. It's the Mini. It's stopped there. Yeah, it's dropping someone off, but it's stopped right there. All the places that you could actually pull over, and let someone out, you stop there. Oh, it's okay though, it's put its hazards on. That means they're allowed to stop wherever they want to. Yeah, I can't get round there anyway, but all that space over there to the left-hand side, if it could have pulled in over there, people can get past you. But no, they're having a conversation in the car for ages before they open the door. Now, yes, I know she's got a crutch. I wonder how the bloody hell she done her leg in. Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? So, yeah, hurry up, get out of the way. There's a barrier there. You're going round the wrong way of the barrier. You're supposed to go that way round it. So even now I can't get past her because she's in the way. And then we've got Twinkle Toes here just walking across the car park like nothing, you know. Yeah, it does make you wonder how she done her leg in, doesn't it? And then we come out of the car park here. And we will be turning right. There's a set of traffic lights over to the right hand side. And get out of the way, crows. You can just about see that they are green at the moment, and they do go to red, which gives me the opportunity to get out. And as I pull out, they will go to red, but there's a car coming towards us for some strange reason. Yeah. So again, from here, we drive up here, and you know when they know they got it wrong because they don't look at you. Can't look at me in the face, this guy.
Literally nowhere to go, mate. Nowhere to go.
Now a little bit further down the road, we almost have deja vu. Remember the Range Rover that was the third vehicle that turned right across my path that shouldn't really have gone? Well, it's the third vehicle again. It's nowhere near as close as what the Range Rover was, and we're not really looking at it, but it is just quite funny that it was the third vehicle. There's one, there's two, and the third one I don't think should really go, but it's nothing. It's nothing. But what we are looking at is how close it is to the car in front. It's almost like it's being towed. It's like, why are you that close? What can you possibly gain being that close? I don't get this sort of driving. I really don't. All they have to do is someone has to walk out in front of them, they slam their brakes on and you're in the back of them and you've got no car and it's your fault and your insurance is up the spout and everything else. Why do people do it? I just find it really weird. Really, really weird. Now in this clip we got a little toy car in front of us. It's called a smart car, and the drivers of these smart cars are anything but smart. How can you get in the way of someone turning right in a toy car? I mean, you got all that space over to your right hand side there that you could just move over, and then me and everyone else behind me can get past you. But you and your little toy car can't move over. Smart, anything but. Anyway, that's all we got time for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Oh, and don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and hype, and all the rest of it. You know the drill, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.